Hello, welcome. I'm Claudia if you're new here. This is still not the IKEA greenhouse cabinet video. Yeah, in my defense, I'm filming a couple videos today and they're both likely gonna go up before the IKEA cabinet video because they are going to be, there's just much less footage. And also, I am not done with the IKEA greenhouse cabinet, so I need to finish it before I can get that video done. But nonetheless, I'm super excited about today's video. We are going to be doing a moss pole extension on my Monstera Adansonii Mint. If you remember or you watched the video, I did like an urgent chop and repair out of nowhere in July or September, I can't remember. I'll write it on the screen. But I had gone on vacation and right before leaving, I noticed that all of the bottom leaves were starting to yellow. I ran out of time to tend to it. I just briefly looked at the roots. They looked healthy, so I kind of left and tried my best not to think about it while I was away. When I got back, the leaves were crispy, done for. So I did an urgent chop-in attempt to repair. I'll link that video here. And I'm back today, so happy to report that the plant made it. Excuse me, plants, because now I have two. This is a top cut that was healthy and, you know, I wanted to salvage what I could because I wasn't sure if the base was gonna survive. It did not skip a beat whatsoever. Continued to grow. It immediately started rooting onto the pole, like just really, really nicely. I just watered it, so, you know, that's why it's a little drippy. But look at the size of this leaf. It's huge. This is the latest leaf. This was the leaf right before that. In comparison to these leaves, it's just done so well. And if you can tell, there's two nodes that don't have moss anymore. So I need to add more moss here and then extend it because the top node is right here and this is the top of the pole. And then the bottom of the plant, so the original plant that was basically left leafless, immediately it did activate all three nodes. You can see one here. This is the one that we actually have leaves from. And then the one up here. So they all activated, but the only one that's actually given me leaves so far is the top one. No, the middle one. And, you know, the first leaf was super wonky and weird, but this was the second leaf. A little wonky, but honestly the plant had like wonky leaves to begin with, and that's kind of what I really liked about it. And there's a new one coming. And honestly, as of the last week, this bottom node looks a little bit more developed. So I'm hopeful that I will also get growth from there, but time will tell. I'm not gonna combine them quite yet. I'm gonna let this grow a little bit more, and then maybe when it's ready for a repot, the other one, then I can combine them both. But I'm super excited that worked. It was my first attempt at a chop and repair. I didn't even really know what I was doing. I was just kind of going with instinct based on the plant's anatomy and where the aerial roots were and all of that. And I'm so amazed it did not skip a beat. It looks so good. So anyway, let's extend the pole so that this can keep growing and getting bigger. I have kind of a new setup here. This is my vanity bench because the bin I typically use as a tabletop is being used with some plants for extra humidity. So this is a little tall, but we're gonna make it work. The pole that's on the plant is a Russo grow pole, so that's obviously what we're gonna use to extend. The Russo grow poles have this film you need to peel, so don't forget to do that. Plus it's so satisfying. I have some pre-moistened moss here, and before we build the new pole, I am going to fill this pole the rest of the way with moss. So that should be pretty good. It's so funny, the super wet moss is so much darker than the new moss. So let's build our pole. I'm gonna bring you down so you can see exactly how I build it, and then obviously we will attach it. This isn't super packed with moss, but I want to get it in there first, and then I usually just use a stake to get the moss at the capacity in the pole that I want. So it's time to extend. Let me go ahead and show you that. We literally just set the pole right on top of the original pole. It should go inside. So let's do it. Voila. It seems like there should be more steps, right? That's really it. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get an orchid stake and I'm gonna push some of the moss down so that we can get a little bit more here where the poles meet, and these nodes can grab onto the moss more easily. The goal is not to have the moss bursting at the seams or anything, but you do want it to be kind of coming out a tiny bit of these openings so that the aerial roots will want to grab onto it. So this is it. I think I'll add the rest of the moss. It's not that much because this is gonna outgrow what I added so far, but I don't necessarily want to fill it all the way up, because just remember, the more you fill up, the more moss pole you have to water and keep moist. It looks so good. Here it is. Looks so good. I love this plant so much, and I didn't even realize I wanted it. I happened to be at a local plant show, like plant event. It was like a plant market. And one of my favorite vendors had it at Plants Choto. You've maybe heard me talk about them before. And I saw it and I was just immediately like, I have to have this plant. Look how beautiful. I just love it so much. Have you extended a pole before? If not, did you know or think it was this easy? I remember being so intimidated by moss poles, period. And then like talking about extending or like chopping the plant once it's way too tall or whatever. It was just very, very intimidating to me, but these poles really make it so easy and they look so good. I love them. I also love these Russo poles because they are wider, so they provide a lot more stability for the plant and they just look pretty. So that was it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, I hope you'll subscribe so you can be notified when I upload new ones. And thank you so much for spending your time with me. And I really, really, really hope that the next video is the IKEA greenhouse cabinet. Thank you again. I'll see you soon.